Let me tell you about a dress I once saw in a shop window. Soft sage green, flowing fabric, absolutely gorgeous on the hanger. A woman bought it, wore it to lunch with friends, and came home feeling off. Not bad exactly, just not as elegant as she'd imagined. She blamed the dress. She almost gave it away. Here's the truth nobody tells you. It was never the dress's fault. Maxi dresses get blamed for a lot of things they didn't do. Looking frumpy, looking dated, looking, dare I say it, a little cheap. But the real culprits are the small styling choices we make without even realizing it. Today I'm walking you through 7 of those quiet mistakes, the ones that can take a beautiful maxi dress and make it fall flat. And I'll tell you now, mistake number 5 is the one that separates women who look effortlessly elegant from everyone else. So stay with me all the way through, because that one detail alone could change the way you shop for dresses from this day forward. Let's start with the most common one, wearing a maxi dress with absolutely no shape. You know the style. It hangs straight from the shoulders and just continues, all the way down, with nothing interrupting it along the way. Comfortable, yes. Forgiving, yes. Especially in the heat of summer, I completely understand the appeal. There's something wonderful about slipping into a dress that asks nothing of you. But here's what happens when there's no shape anywhere in the dress. Your eye has nothing to land on. It just slides straight down and straight back up again with nowhere interesting to pause. Instead of looking relaxed and elegant, the whole thing can start to resemble a column of fabric with a woman somewhere inside it. And no amount of beautiful color fixes that. You could have the most exquisite emerald or the richest terracotta, and it still won't matter if the shape isn't doing its job. The fix isn't a tight dress. Please hear me on that, because so many women think the solution to a shapeless dress is a fitted one, and that's not it at all. You just need a little definition, a wrap style that naturally nips in at the waist, a dress with gentle seaming through the middle, even something as simple as a belt in a complementary color. The moment there's a hint of a waistline, your whole silhouette changes. Your legs suddenly look longer, your proportions look more balanced, the dress looks intentional instead of accidental, like you chose it on purpose rather than grabbed it because it was easy. It's such a small adjustment, but I promise you, the very first time you try it, you'll wonder why you didn't do it years ago. And here's something worth sitting with for a moment. So many of us were taught that as we get older, the goal is to hide the waist, to cover it, to disguise it. But a waistline isn't something to hide. It's one of the most powerful tools you have for creating elegance in any outfit at any age. I'd love to know, do you tend to reach for belts and wrap styles, or do you avoid them? Tell me in the comments, because I think a lot of women avoid them without ever really knowing why. Now, can we talk about shoes for a moment? Because this next mistake is sneaky, and it catches even women who consider themselves quite stylish. We all have our go-to shoes, the sandals by the door, the sneakers we live in, the pair that's so comfortable we barely think twice before slipping them on. Nothing wrong with comfort, truly. Comfort should always matter. But here's the thing. A flowing maxi dress speaks a certain language. It says elegant, feminine, put together. And when you pair it with something overly casual, the outfit starts arguing with itself. The dress says one thing, the shoes say another, and viewers, I mean you, can feel that disconnect even if you can't quite name it in the moment. You don't need heels. Let me say that again for anyone worried I'm about to tell you to squeeze into stilettos. You don't need height at all. What you need is a bit of polish, a pointed flat, a sleek loafer, a low block heel, a metallic sandal with a bit of shine, even a refined sneaker in the right color and shape. Suddenly, the whole look feels finished, like you made an effort even on days you barely tried at all. That's the magic of the right shoe. It does the work quietly in the background while everyone simply notices that you look wonderful without quite knowing why. Tell me honestly, is there a pair of shoes sitting in your closet right now that you've been pairing with the wrong dress without realizing it? I genuinely love to hear about it in the comments, because I think we've all done this at some point. Mistake number 3 might be the one that surprises you the most, and it's one I rarely see discussed. Length. Most women assume longer is better with a maxi dress. Floor length, the more dramatic the better, right? Not quite, and here's why. If the dress is too long for your frame, especially if you're on the shorter or more average side, it can overwhelm you entirely. Instead of elegant and flowing, it starts to read as shorter and heavier than you actually are. And the frustrating part is, most women never realize this is the issue. They're too busy admiring the print or the color to notice that the hem is quietly doing all the damage underneath. The most flattering length usually skims the top of the foot or hits right around the ankle. That's it. That one small adjustment lets your shoes show, balances your proportions beautifully, and instantly makes the dress feel current rather than dated. I know altering a dress can feel like an unnecessary expense, something extra you didn't plan on, but a simple hem might be the single best money you ever spend on your wardrobe. It's the difference between a dress that sits at the back of the closet and one you reach for again and again because it simply works. Before we get to the fit mistake I promised you, let me pause here for just a moment. If you're finding this helpful, this is exactly the kind of practical, no-nonsense styling advice we talk about every week here at Ageless Sophistication. Hitting subscribe means you won't miss the next one, and it genuinely helps this little channel grow and reach more women who need to hear this. Now back to the dresses, because we still have quite a bit of ground to cover, and it only gets more interesting from here. Mistake number 4 is forgetting the third piece. A maxi dress worn completely alone can work beautifully on a hot day, no argument there, but often it feels unfinished and you can't quite figure out why. You look in the mirror, something feels slightly off, and you can't put your finger on it. 9 times out of 10, it's missing a layer. A linen blazer draped loosely over the shoulders, a lightweight jacket in a contrasting texture, a cropped cardigan for cooler evenings, even a chic waistcoat for something a little more tailored. The second you add that third piece, the outfit gains personality. It stops being just a dress and starts being a look with a point of view, something that feels curated rather than thrown together. Here's how to choose the right layer, because this part matters. If the dress is loose and flowing, add something more structured. Let the layer be a little relaxed, so the whole outfit doesn't feel stiff. This isn't about covering anything up, and I want to be clear about that. It's not about hiding your arms or disguising your shape. It's about giving an outfit a story instead of just a shape. Picture the exact same dress worn 2 ways, once alone and once with a simple jacket over it. One looks nice, the other looks styled, like you thought about it, like you have a point of view about how you dress. That difference is almost entirely the third piece. And now, the mistake I've been teasing since the very beginning: fit. Because here's what actually separates an elegant maxi dress from one that looks cheap. It's not the brand, it's not the price tag, it's the fit. So many of us buy a dress because we love the color or print, try it on in a rush, decide it sort of fits, and bring it home anyway. But sort of fits is exactly where things go wrong. Too tight and the fabric strains and clings in places you'd rather it didn't, pulling across the hips or bunching at the middle. Too loose and it swallows your shape entirely, creating volume that isn't yours to begin with, and hiding the very silhouette you were hoping to flatter. The goal is a dress that skims your body, follows your shape without gripping it, moves when you move, falls beautifully when you're still, and never once pulls or bunches or fights against you. I bet you know exactly the look I'm describing, because when you see it on someone else, you notice immediately how effortless it looks. And here's something worth saying out loud, because I think so many women need permission to hear this. Sometimes sizing up actually looks better, and there is absolutely no shame in that whatsoever. I know that can feel counterintuitive after a lifetime of being told smaller is somehow better, but nobody sees the number on the tag except you. What they see is the overall silhouette, the way the fabric falls, the way you carry yourself in it. When the fit is right, everything looks more elegant and more expensive, no matter what you actually paid for it. Does that change how you'll shop next time? I genuinely want to know, so tell me in the comments if that's a mindset shift for you, because it certainly was for me. Mistake number 6 is fabric, and this one deserves an honest conversation, because it's rarely talked about, even though it matters enormously. A beautiful print can win you over before you've even touched the material. A lovely color can distract you completely. But if the fabric is thin, clingy, shiny in the wrong way, or simply lacks any structure, the whole dress can lose that elegant feeling the moment you put it on, no matter how gorgeous it looked online. We've all had that experience of a dress looking absolutely stunning online and disappointing us the moment it arrives and we try it on. Instead of draping softly, it clings. Instead of flowing beautifully, it wrinkles the second you sit down. Instead of looking refined, it looks a little flimsy, a little disappointing. Here's a quick trick you can use anywhere in a shop or even before you order something online by checking the fabric description closely. Scrunch a section of the fabric in your hand and let go. Quality fabric bounces back into shape almost immediately. Cheap fabric stays crumpled and creased. Hold it up to the light too if you're in a shop and able to. If it's nearly see-through, take that as your answer and move on. Linen blends, cotton poplin, a good crepe, and quality jersey almost always look more sophisticated than their thinner counterparts. And honestly, they do a great deal of the work for you before you've even added a single accessory. Last, but honestly one of my favorites, the neckline. Now I know this doesn't sound as exciting as shoes or silhouettes, but stay with me, because this detail can completely transform how a maxi dress looks on you. Here's why it matters so much. The neckline frames your face, and your face is the very first thing anyone actually looks at when they see you, before they notice the color of your dress or the cut of the fabric. Yet so many of us choose dresses purely based on color or print and never once stop to consider whether the neckline is actually doing us any favors. A high, closed neckline can sometimes feel heavy, even aging, particularly in warmer weather, and it can shorten the neck while drawing attention away from your face rather than toward it. On the other hand, a well-placed V-neck, a soft scoop, or a gentle boat neck opens everything up, creating lightness and balance, and drawing the eye exactly where you want it to go. Picture two photographs of the same woman in the same dress, everything identical except the neckline. In one, her face almost disappears into the fabric. In the other, she's the very first thing you see. It's such a small detail, and yet it has a surprisingly powerful effect on the entire outfit. And the best part is, you don't need to memorize strict rules about which neckline suits which face shape. You simply need to notice which necklines make you feel your best. The ones that brighten your face. The ones that make your features stand out rather than recede. The ones that make you smile when you glance in the mirror instead of adjusting the collar for the 10th time. Because when the neckline works, the entire dress works harder for you. And that's exactly what great style has always been about. So here's what I want you to take away today. Maxi dresses were never the problem, and I hope that's landed for you by now. They can be one of the most elegant, comfortable, and genuinely flattering pieces you own, at any age and any stage of life. Sometimes all it takes is a small shift, a better fit, the right shoes, a little shape at the waist, a layer that gives the outfit a story, a hem that sits exactly where it should, a fabric with enough substance to move beautifully, and a neckline that lets your face shine through. Put those together, and that same dress hanging quietly in your closet suddenly feels completely brand new. Tell me, which of these mistakes caught you off guard the most? I would genuinely love to read your answers below, because I always learn something from this community. And if this gave you even a small spark of confidence today, stay a while longer, explore some of the other videos here, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. We have so much more to talk about, and I have a feeling you're going to enjoy where we go from here. Until next time, take care of yourself, wear what makes you feel like you, and remember, elegance was never about age. It was always about how you carry yourself.